Hello everyone, Lakey here, and a couple of days ago I released a video of a Q&A I did with Shay 007, a stylus developer, where we talked about their upcoming Call of Robloxia game, along with aspects of Phantom Forces as it relates to the game's future, both far away and towards the present. I'll have that linked in the description if you missed it. One of the questions I asked him was about Votekick and Phantom Forces. At the moment, it's a hot topic as the system has been weaponized against innocent players and the community has grown rather tired of it. The answer that Shay gave me though, as far as if they plan to do anything about it, gave me hope, but also gave me some more questions as well. As far as Votekick is concerned, Shay gave out the idea of having a weighted Votekick system that correlates to if the people you're votekicking are actually getting punished. So if I votekick cheaters and they go on to get banned, this will reflect favorably upon me and I will not get penalized in any way. However, if I abuse the votekick system and votekick people who are not cheating and as such their accounts will not have bans followed up on them, this will not look favorably upon me and will probably lead to me being penalized in some ways. Shay mentioned that it could lead to votekicks needing more kicks to kick someone out, or even possibly a removal of Votekick command privileges if people continue to abuse it. I could definitely see this system being beneficial, and I even asked Shay if something similar to this could be used to kind of create trust in a player as far as more votes being needed for them to get kicked if they have rampant Votekick abuse against them and are never getting banned. But it doesn't seem like as far as that aspect goes that they've really gotten that far yet as creating it in that system. However, it does solidly seem like the idea of what I mentioned earlier as far as the weighted system, seems like that is probably more what they're leaning towards. So just as hearing this reassured me that Stylus does seem to be working to help fix the Votekick abuse issue, I also now have questions after thinking about this more, along with some concerns for it. So the biggest concern I have is for people who maybe don't have the ability to record or document cheaters. They may get negatively affected here even though they're doing the right thing by votekicking the cheater. But at the same time, the person who starts the votekick doesn't necessarily need to be the one to submit a report with sufficient evidence. At the end of the day, the cheater just needs to get banned no matter who reports them. So if you're doing a votekick and someone else reports the cheater and that cheater gets banned, you won't get penalized in any way. The problem with this though is that, at least at the moment with the way Votekick is, it feels like many people just vote yes in a Votekick or start a Votekick and move on, and they don't go that extra distance of collecting evidence and submitting a report with good enough and clear enough evidence to get the person banned. I feel like if Stylus could maybe add more of an incentive on top of this to maybe reward people for submitting reports, and if the reported person gets banned, they could get something like a small credit reward maybe, enough to be a nice thank you, but not enough that you could efficiently farm it, which would probably be caught onto anyways. These two things combined might be enough to encourage people to put in their due diligence and fill out a report with good evidence after votekicking someone for cheating or being abusive in the chat or something of the like. I'm also concerned as to what something like trust could look like. I think that's a very serious thing to kind of give out, and trust is not something that, for me at least, comes out easily. I of course think it's bad that people have Votekick abuse against them rampantly, but I worry that a trusted system could maybe lead to some people gaining that trust and abusing it. If they wake up one day and decide they just want to cheat for whatever reason, a trusted system makes it hard for them to be vote-kicked out and could render it very, very hard for a server to get a cheater out who was once a trusted community member. It does happen, it is possible. There have been people who are higher ranks that are banned and whatnot. I imagine though that this would be a small amount of people. Another worry I have is the ability to game the system or farm in a sense. Someone could use a friend who is a cheater on alt accounts to repeatedly vote kick them and ban them to get the favorable effects of the system, and then turn around and vote kick abuse with enough buffer to not really feel a penalty. Or conversely, If a trusted system is implemented, a cheater could possibly abuse that to make it harder for them to get Votekick. It would be very time consuming in both of these scenarios, but it wouldn't be outside the realm of possibility to me. I think that stylists needs to be very careful with how they go about implementing something like this and make sure the necessary safeguards are in place to prevent people from exploiting the system. And then, as mentioned, as far as questions that I have off of the back of this, I've got a few. I guess I could have asked Shay this after the fact, but this is more of a database kind of thing, and that's not his area of expertise, and it seemed like they didn't have all aspects of it ironed out as far as the general idea of it goes. So I'm not sure that an answer I got would have necessarily been satisfactory, and these questions are more bigger picture rather than what is your specific solution to this? As we don't have this system in place now, I hope that maybe, just maybe, stylists could, if they aren't already considering something like this, they might hear this and think, oh yeah, that's something we gotta figure out. So my questions currently for this system really kind of pertain to the time frame of everything. So how long will the system wait for someone to be banned before applying good or bad effects to your account for vote kicking someone? What happens if someone gets unbanned? Will it account for a difference if that person is false banned and they get unbanned, or if they just were cheating but get a second chance through an appeal? What happens if someone gets banned after a negative weight effect has been reflected on their count? What happens if someone vote kicks someone and that person doesn't get banned, and so a negative weighted effect is applied to their account, but then eventually that person gets banned? With each of these questions, I can imagine scenarios that could happen with them. Sometimes, for me at least, I have evidence for cheaters just sitting in my recordings folder for a few days before I even file a report. Yet, they still get banned in the end, so how would that affect me and my ability to vote kick, regardless of the protections or safeguards I may have as an affiliated content creator? So those are really just my concerns and kind of bigger picture questions about this system moving forward. I'm not sure what the status of it is within stylists and how far they've really gotten on it, but I think that while it's complicated and in some ways delicate, it can be implemented right and in a way that would greatly benefit our community and show us who the bad actors are. I think that this system, combined with a reason in the syntax, as many people have stated as being a necessity before, along with an incentive to report, could really do a lot in ending vote kick abuse in the community. But ultimately, if a system like this doesn't work, and even adding something like a reason syntax doesn't work, and doing heightened amounts of moderation against vote kick abusers still doesn't work, and vote kick abuse is just still rampant, despite people maybe even losing the ability to vote kick altogether, I think we should just see vote kick get removed. It is clear that the community will do nothing but abuse it, and if improvements can't change that, then it's probably best for it to go. And I'd hope that stylists will be cautious about doing something similar in Call of Robloxia. As always, be sure to let me know your thoughts in the comments. That's all I've got for today. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.